This movie tells a very specific fantasy about Al Yankovic's life, from his meteoric rise to fame with early hits like Eat It and Like a Surgeon, to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle. First of all, this is a heavily fabricated tale, so do not expect anything close to the truth about Yankovic's life. It's an imaginary and outrageous depiction of making it in the record industry with spoofs of pop records. The premise is really interesting for this goofy-sounding biopic. This movie should be great as it's filled to the brim with hilarious cameos and some of his most memorable songs. Unfortunately, the final product is really disappointing. It actually starts decent, and at least for a while, the film has a blast mocking the genre's most formulaic conventions. However, after a while, it starts to feel like you're watching yet another tiresome biopic that hits the same beats as every other biopic, except this one is supposed to be fake and funny. It's funny up to a point, but it becomes tedious, especially as the movie tries to spoof as many musical biopic tropes as possible. The movie's inspired goofiness eventually runs out of gas, growing more and more outrageous without coming up with comparably choice gags. The conceit of the main character is not strong enough to carry a movie that lasts nearly an hour and 40 minutes, and the laughs never really amount to more than a chuckle. The script never finds a personality for the character beyond the stereotypes that it's making fun of. In recasting Yankovic as a troubled genius with demons aplenty, it loses the absolute charm of its subject and creator. The movie ends up feeling less about what makes Yankovic so special and more a generic parody of Hollywood excess. You start to long for the real Yankovic instead of this alternate universe version you're watching. The movie stumbles further as it goes along, expanding its scope once Yankovic experiences the perils of celebrity. The movie really spirals off the rails when Madonna enters the frame. There's no problem with the acting, it's just that the fictional spin of Madonna feels out of place and really stretched off. Framing Madonna as a money grubber who seduces him so he will parody one of her songs and make her even more famous just starts to feel icky the longer it goes on. It eventually takes up the back half of the runtime. The actress does a convincing Madonna impression. Unfortunately, the character herself is a one-note caricature. When the movie includes some international intrigue involving drug cartels and high-octane action sequences, the movie is even losing more of its inventive spark. Overall, this movie is such a disappointment. We do not recommend this movie at all.